Nevertheless, that is the WWE. They're making more money than the federal government, showing people walking and talking to each other. And before we get to the actual SmackDown program where they do that, there's been a lot of people talking. And apparently she may do some walking right away from this, about poor Liv Morgan has run afoul of the law, the gendarmes, as it did a brief bit of boarding with the warden on the bounty of the county at the Crossbar Hotel, as Cowboy Bill would say. What in the what? Now, did you have, who was on the crime beat when this came in for the wrestling news? Was it Kippelman?
Oh no, Kippelman's on the West Coast. He's the late edition.
He's out there
producer.
with all the whores and the drunkards out there in like Vegas and California and Hollywood and the druggies and things like that.
Well, you're kind of right. He's in San Francisco, so technically you're right about half. Well,
there you go. He's covering that whole cesspool of humanity.
But to answer your question, no, he was not on
this.
Well, the wrestling news covered it. Everyone covered it. It was a public thing because she was arrested by the police.
Yes, who else would she be arrested by? A goddamn fucking Tinseltown fucking Usher squad?
She was charged with possession of marijuana, but not more than 20 grams, as well as possession of, I believe, a vape pen containing an oil-like substance that also tested positive for marijuana.
An oil-like substance? Wouldn't that be oil?
Marijuana oil, yes. Cannabis oil.
Well, back up here now, because once again, Brian, you're a young man about town. You spent a lot of time there working in the Big Apple, and you know about these things. I'm just an old fart here, just a small town bird farter. And so you know the prices of the kilos and things and the way that they measure out the grams and get the marijuana pills to the customers. But first of all, so she was in Florida. Florida, of all places, Florida, with the most batshit, complete fucking insane people wandering around on a daily basis because of the warm weather. They don't really need to come in at the wintertime. It doesn't kill any of the crop off. So they continue to populate. Marijuana is not legal in Florida.
No.
It's legal in like goddamn Kansas, in Oklahoma. Marijuana is legal in Oklahoma.
I have an article here. She's from New Jersey. She's from here where I am living, where it is not illegal to have marijuana, possess it. Less than 20 grams is nothing.
And here's another thing. What is 20 grams in like what I would weigh out on my butcher's scale? Is that in ounces or fucking... Are we talking about a quarter pounder here?
I have no idea. I've been buying
Give me a goddamn measurement I can understand.
I have no idea. I don't. You figure out the measurements. I don't know the grams.
Well, how does it translate to ounces? Do you have it on your goddamn, like a 4-ounce patty or a goddamn 8-ounce fucking, half-pound fucking OMG burger from over here at Beef O'Brady's? Give me some measurement I can understand. What is under 20 grams or 8 grams? What was it?
1 ounce is 28.3 grams, and she had less than 20 grams.
So she didn't even have a fucking slider's worth.
She had
marijuana.
Nothing. She had nothing.
And also this oil-like substance, I saw one of the articles that said it was a synthetic cannabinoid, synthetic weed.
Yeah, you got to watch out for that shit. That shit's nuts.
Well, so that's fake shit? They have fake weed now?
Well, for years, even before marijuana was legal, like if you went to a head shop on Long Island, they would sell you this fucking crap that was like, I don't even know what it was. And I only tried it once and I lost my mind for a few minutes. I said, I'm never doing this again. And then I did it. And then I did it a second time, actually, to see if I was right the first time. And then I gave it all to my buddy, Andy. No,
have you seen Andy since?
I
what
have
happened
not.
to Andy?
He's a fisherman and he's been out at sea for a long time. Been catching the biggest fish ever. It's just no one can see them.
All right. Well, back to so this is, but now again from the reporting that I saw, and I didn't notice where it was or who wrote it, so I'm not going to credit anybody. but also that's a felony, whereas the real weed is a misdemeanor, but the fake weed is a felony. How the fuck does that work?
To be fair, a lot of people seem to think the Freebirds may have set her up.
Well, that fucking Hayes. I knew it. He's going to carry that. You know, a lot of people now have completely no idea what we're talking about and are going to think that we really maligned Michael Hayes for being a part of this.
I don't know if this is going to be in the Iron Claw movie. Kerry Von Erich and his either girlfriend or fiance or already wife, whatever it was, were returning from Mexico or going to Mexico from Dallas. And apparently they found a variety of colors of pills all over Kerry. And apparently the little girls who read it in the newspaper didn't believe.
All over his body.
They didn't believe that it could happen. It had to be that Michael Hayes. He's clearly a druggie. He had to have planted all this on the innocent, milk-drinking Kerry Von Erich.
And that spread amongst the wrestling fan populace. And of course, remember what Nick Goulas said about the Freebirds? He asked, I think it was Tom Renesto, when Renesto was booking. He said, are they taking them marijuana pills? So, they've had a reputation.
Should they lean into this and have one of the heels have planted this on her?
I think they'll probably want it to blow over for the greater good. I don't know if that angle would set records and cause them to rethink the main event at WrestleMania. But nevertheless, so here's the point of the fucking thing. And
this is one of the best looking mugshots I've ever seen.
Well, she knows how to take a picture in any circumstance, apparently. And she was at the same time probably thinking, this is probably going to get out, so I might better brush my hair. And she was obviously not like coming back from some 4-day fucking drunken binge out at the local Fall and Crawl Tavern. She was probably going shopping somewhere.
Well, she was in Florida. I wonder if Jericho knows where she was. She was driving a yellow Jeep on Country Road 476.
Now, she may have come back from an alien encounter. But no, and I was going to make an important point also in her defense as well, in that apparently the story is that the oil-like substance, the fake shit that's more penalty-ridden than the real shit, was left in her car by someone else. Now, we've heard that also. We've heard that many times, but in this case, if she had the real stuff on, who knows? It may be true. Would you be mixing the real shit with the fake shit? The point being, what the fuck?
Come back to New Jersey. What are you doing in fucking Florida? That's the point. Newark Airport's here. It's just as easy to fly out of here as it is Tampa. Come on.
The point that I've made before is that this is ridiculous. Either something is illegal or it's not illegal, and you can't do it state by state. That's why there's a need for a federal government, since we're a goddamn country, not a collection of fucking, well, actually, maybe we're a collection of fucking dipshit fucking municipalities. But in one state, something is perfectly legal for people to walk into a store and purchase and take to their fucking vehicle and drive home with, right? And if somebody were to hijack your car on the way home, you could call the police and tell them they stole my car and my weed, and the police would have to go and get both of them and bring them back to you, right? But you drive across a fucking bridge or a state line of any kind to the next state, like Florida, apparently. And if you're driving home with shit that you've got, the police will arrest you, take it away from you, handcuff you, and take you to fucking jail. 5 miles away. That's fucking stupid, regardless of what side you're on.
Now, for the record, according to this article I have here from Villages News, I believe this is a local newspaper or something like that.
They've got it's a retirement community like the Villages in Florida, the big ritzy titsy, where the polo ponies roam free, called the Villages. You think she's living over at the retirement home?
Well, it does say here at the end that she announced earlier this year she obtained a real estate brokerage license. So maybe she's doing some business. Maybe she's selling some places.
Yeah, well, there you go. So she's minding her own business, selling some poor, decrepit person near death a chance at paradise for the remaining days, weeks, whatever they may have left, and the cops throw her in the goddamn slammer.
Although it does say here, the cops noticed, the sheriff's deputy noticed, her vehicle crossed over the yellow and white lines on the roadway several times, and when he approached the Jeep, the odor of marijuana was detected. So there is a difference between having it on you a little bit and smoking it while you're driving. We do have to say, there's a difference.
Not the best decision in a highly populated trafficked area such as that to be doing that. But I'll tell you one thing. I bet you, and I'm not excusing the erratic driving, but I bet it came from texting, because she's under fucking 40, so she naturally can't stop staring at her phone screen. I bet you she was texting. If she was that stoned, she'd be doing 15 miles an hour and fucking attempting to goddamn stay in between lines that weren't even applicable to the goddamn road.
Now it has come out, at least people think that there will not be any punishment from TKO or WWE. Do you agree with that? Do you think there should be? How do you think this should be addressed, if at all?
Well, again, besides a traffic infraction, throw the weed out because it's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. And it's legal in so many places and so many different forms that that should be a traffic citation then too. And again, unless they can prove that she was somehow so impaired that she was a danger to other people, then I don't see how that then everybody that gets a traffic infraction in the TKO umbrella would have to be brought up on charges before the tribal council.
All right. Well, that is the story of Liv Morgan. We'll see her soon. Hopefully with just real marijuana, no synthetic marijuana that is unacceptable in 2023.
Well, she's going to be doing a goddamn co-promotion with Flair.
What do you mean?
Well, they'll be doing the weed and the wings.
Wings!
Wings! Flair can throw the weed in and she can spread her wings and fly away. The snowbird. All right, enough Anne Murray.